Yo, what's going on YouTube? Welcome to my corner of the world. We are here for another tribute reaction to Rebekah and Marcel. But is that beloved? Beloved? How do you pronounce that? Like, I know the word, but like I've heard many people pronounce it in different ways. Is it beloved or beloved? Regardless, it's that word. Rebekah and Marcel, I really do love their dynamic. I love their relationship. They are two of my favorite characters in all of the TVDU, and they had a whole 200-year on again, off again thing. That's a lot. Imagine going through that with somebody for two whole centuries. But anyway, this is 7 minutes, 28 seconds. I'm not going to pause too much. Let's dive in. The link to the original video will be in the description if you want to check it out uninterrupted and with no commentary. Here we go.
You mean to tell me after all these years Marcel is alive and well?
You remember him, don't you?
Rebekah Michelson.
You know that girl?
I was a kid when I met her.
Yes, of course you do.
Come to teach me another lesson? Think I might, though I remember a time when things were different.
I'd like
Despite
to
my
take
love for their
this
relationship, I will
opportunity
say it is a bit
to draw
odd that she
attention to
decided
two people. My sister and Marcel,
go for
they've been
her
sneaking around
brother's
behind my back
son.
for the better part of 2 centuries. Who've been sneaking around behind my back together.
I am sorry. I know the way you felt about Marcel.
We were in love for 2 centuries, and now we're setting fires to avoid each other.
I love my sister, but she lacks fortune when it comes to men. I wouldn't worry about it.
Maybe once. We had the opportunity for a fresh start.
You know, it's not too late.
Ancient history.
From what I understand, Marcel is still single.
All right, what the hell happened?
Not anymore.
I asked you to leave with me. 7 years ago, I asked you.
Come with me.
Your brothers came in this town like they owned the place.
You're choosing him over me, aren't you?
And go where, Rebekah?
Wherever we want to. This thing that you and Klaus and Marcel have, I want no part of it.
Becca.
Don't.
But you didn't love me as much as you love New Orleans.
Rebekah, I got people to look out for. I can't just run away.
A man does not run from his home.
You made your choice. I'm not a fool.
I am taking back my home, my city, my freedom.
I see how much you love this city. And I am not the kind of girl who likes to share.
I have lived a lot longer than you, Marcellus. I have seen kings rise and fall.
I'm gonna fight for my city, and I will fight until I am dead.
If there is one thing I know to be true, it is that no matter how big your empire becomes, it is nothing if you have no one to share with.
I've already found my queen.
But I expect he's already found another girl.
Figured you'd be busy with your plaything, Sabrina.
I see you still have a thing for blondes.
Did you?
Did I what?
Stop fooling yourself, Marcel. Tell me that you feel nothing for me and I'll never ask again.
Want to kiss me, Rebekah?
No.
You know, I used to think I could choose when to love you.
She's comfort food. Something to distract you from what you really want, which,
She asked me to go with her.
You'd leave, and then I'd fall back into the arms of the city.
after all these years, is impossible to deny. Some step in front of you.
But instead, I'm here.
When you were reliving history with my brother, did you happen to revisit what came next in 1919?
Why'd you come back?
If Klaus learns it's my fault, you found your way to the plantation.
You really think I'd rat you out?
No one was.
Can I just say, I find it incredibly hilarious that that line was said. Not this one, but the one that she said like 10 or 15 seconds ago, where she was talking about, who was it, Cammy? I think it might have been Cammy she was talking about, where she said she's comfort food. Something to distract yourself. Like, that's a crazy way to talk about another person. You talk about another person as comfort food while you're, like, to distract yourself while you're waiting for me. That's crazy. But she wasn't wrong. Crazy statement, but she wasn't wrong.
Revisit what came next in 1919.
Why'd you come back?
If Klaus learns it's my fault, you found your way to the plantation.
You really think I'd rat you out?
No one was ever good enough for his little sister.
Well, he wasn't good enough for you.
No one was ever good enough for me, Nick. You made sure of that. And what about the one that you loved enough to call friend?
Was tale of forbidden love.
Why did you forbid me to love Marcel? But the more one tells you you can't have something, the more you crave it. They should have buried him 100 years ago.
What's worth dying for? A Romeo and Juliet of sorts, if not love.
100 years we could have been together. As I know that none of us are innocent in this, least of all you and me.
If you think that I'd ever in 1,000 years do anything to hurt you, I would never hurt you.
There was a time when you'd have gone to these lengths for me. You mean to tell me that you would tear down everything my family built? Everything you helped us build?
But all that we built died.
Risk your own life?
But now I see.
On the off chance that I would show you the slightest bit of affection?
You did it for love.
I would.
Just the man I wanted to see.
Your sister's tryst with Marcel was only the beginning.
A lot of secrets that you and I don't want getting out.
Or have you forgotten our little secret?
Maybe to make sure I didn't get too drunk and spill secrets better left unspilled about you and me.
I know the words that will make him hate you forever.
Do not mention his name. She's my family.
Oh, you said I was family.
Could have been happy for us.
And as for my sister, her love for you was a threat.
As a result, your deepest fear came to pass.
But instead, in your paranoia, you feared losing us both.
How could either of you love each other?
But their love for each other would overshadow their love for you.
Still have room for me.
And because of that, you did.
On the day they're to marry.
This was supposed to be our happily ever after.
One little spell and we could finally be together for real.
All right, I do love New Orleans, all right, I do. And I watched it burn to the ground for you once before, Rebekah. And then I waited a century.
Family and long festering hatred intervened.
That wasn't her fault, though. He knows she got daggered not long after they left New
Your
Orleans.
father came to New Orleans in 1919 to kill you.
The father even kills his own child in the final act.
Actually, I'd like you to find Michael, our father. But that one mistake will destroy us.
And as the city burned, he nearly succeeded.
Rebekah's punishment won't be complete until she watches you die.
My father's treated you like a son.
And you're like a son to him, and believe me, he means to kill you.
I can almost appreciate the irony.
I don't want to be afraid of what my brother will do to me for loving you.
Rebekah.
I loved her.
I still love her. Plan was to wait for you to return.
And you didn't even come back for me.
You never did.
So you just forgot about me? You could have come after me.
You were with Klaus.
Was it a 10 when he daggered you for loving me?
I presented him with a choice.
So I'm going to make you a promise.
He could choose to undagger you and live out the rest of his human days with you, or I could turn him instead, as he's always wanted, in exchange for giving you up.
If you're gonna hurt anyone, it should be me.
Don't you dare touch her.
Such loyalty to your beloved.
I won't hurt Rebekah. And this city, you can have it.
Simply prove you're every bit the liar and manipulator that Klaus is.
That a great love, Marcel used
Love
her to
making them
oust
miserable,
this
bro.
family and to take my city.
Is that what you really think?
Marcel did not manipulate me.
I would never do that.
We loved each other. You know what? It's probably best if you just do that again.
Yeah, you know what? I think it's best for both of us.
I'm gonna give you some advice that took me way too long to learn.
I have waited decades for things to be right with your family.
Family is sacred.
But that's not working anymore. We are either all in or done.
I respect
But
it.
so is love.
I respect him for giving her that ultimatum.
Marcel.
Some things change, some never do.
But then it's never really over for us. And nobody's ever gonna tell us that we can't be together. Ever. I love you, Rebekah. I always have and I always will.
Because I love you, Marcel. Why would you want to be loved by me, Marcel? My family is cursed. That's why I won't let my sadness destroy you.
You're doing a pretty good job of it right now.
You know, happiness is a choice you're incapable of accepting.
So what do you want to do? Starting right now, you have a choice. What are you waiting for?
May they find joy in each other.
I want to wake up with you in our home. We can build a home together.
It was gonna be ours. I told you when I was a child I was gonna marry you one day, right after our first duel, remember?
I'm gonna marry you someday.
I knew you.
He rocked that
I would
proposal he
never
gave
marry
her.
someone who couldn't best me in a duel. The little fool is right.
Rebekah Michelson,
Marcel Gerard, you are my friend,
delicate as lace,
my partner.
elegant as a fine home, tough as polished steel,
My love.
in love of all my lives.
Happiness is a choice.
I don't want to best you. I don't want to be ahead of you or behind you. I want us side by side.
I want to walk down the street with you by my side so that everyone knows that you are mine and I am yours.
We get to watch it all. Will you marry me?
I would very much like to be your wife.
Yeah, this was a really good tribute. It really like touched on their dynamic. Like I said, on again, off again for 2 entire centuries. Like that's That's nuts, man. I mean, it's not quite 200 years for us, like in our world in reality, but since they are actually ahead of us, chronologically speaking, in their world, it would be 2 entire centuries for them. Like, like, bruh. A lot of it had to deal with Klaus, like, purposefully doing whatever he could to keep them apart, but a lot of it was just like, you know, wrong. Like, they couldn't get the timing down because, like, Marcel, like, during the events of the originals, he was so focused on New Orleans and, like, being in charge, like helping the people that he liked to call family there. He was like so focused on that, and Rebekah was so focused on like having her freedom and living the life that she wanted to live. And those two just like they couldn't do both at the same time until eventually they realized what was important, like what was the thing like they really wanted, and in the end they found each other. Like it's a great story that they have when you watch it from start to finish, especially all the trials, tribulations, and turmoil that they had to go through to get to where they are present day. But yeah, it really is a great love story, and in a lot of ways, I actually prefer it to a lot of the other relationships throughout the TVDU. It's great. Way to go, TVDU editor. Another W vid. Hopefully, if you made it this far to the reaction, you are a real one because I know a lot of you guys don't. But thank you for sticking around to hear my little after video tangent or whatever you want to call it. But that's going to be it for me. I'm going to end it here. If you enjoyed my reaction to this, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I would really appreciate that, and I will catch you in the next video. See ya.